You're listening to episode 298 of the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman.
So welcome to this week's Small and Supercharged podcast. It's not going to be a long one this week. It's actually recording in the car. That's a whole different story, but it's just the way the week has gone, which I'm sure I will tell you about in the future. But today I want to talk about the importance of, when it comes to marketing, talking about why you're good, not why everyone else is rubbish. And this is something I think that we've all seen if you have watched any of the political debates, whether it was Starmer versus Sunak or the seven parties on Friday night, that a lot of them, instead of talking about why they're great or why you should vote for them, they seem somewhat obsessed with why you shouldn't vote for everybody else and why what everyone else is doing is bad. And I think it's just such a rubbish marketing strategy. And I feel like with the election, with people getting excited about the election, with people asking for your votes, we're seeing lots of quite interesting marketing tactics, marketing strategy, social media strategy, PR disasters. We're seeing lots of this stuff. And whilst I'm never going to tell you who to vote for, because I don't know the answer anyway, but what I think we can all agree on is the strategy that we are seeing and how that is good or bad or indifferent. And one of the ones I wanted to bring up today is how a lot of the strategy for the debates, for the advertising, for everything else is all about pulling apart what other people are doing and why that is bad. Whereas when we think about businesses and promoting our businesses, I do actually see some businesses who do use this strategy, and I just always think, why are you having to resort to this? Don't get me wrong, there are some people who make absolutely rubbish products, there are people who offer rubbish services. Completely understand that, get it, seen it, and it's really frustrating when you are trying to sell a good product or offer a good service. It's very vexing. But what we do, I think at least, is when we start to drag ourselves down to that level, we're not actually explaining why we're good. We're just explaining why the others are bad, which can make the consumer feel like it's kind of the best of a bad job. But we don't want that. We want them to pick you because they think you are the best, not the best of rubbish. There's a really good, I'm sure I've talked about this before in the podcast. There's a book called Pig Wrestling. I've definitely talked about this before. And it's the way they describe it is the pig is the problem. And you don't wrestle with a pig because you both get muddy and the pig enjoys it. And I love that. I think of it a lot. But I also think of people in that way sometimes, problem people. But I also think that when we're looking at marketing strategies, if you are tackling these issues and you're just kind of having a go at somebody because they're rubbish, or you're pulling out why they're rubbish, everyone's getting kind of muddied by that. You're not giving them a reason to buy from you or to vote for you. And I've been very disappointed when I've been watching these debates as well, the yelling over each other. There's so many things that, again, from a business point of view, we wouldn't do. If you were having a debate with somebody on a stage, if you were on a panel, even if you disagreed with somebody, you wouldn't just start yelling over the top of them. Because, again, even if your point is exceptional, you just look bad. You're just bringing yourselves down to a different level. And it's just not worth it. Whatever you think you gain, I really don't think you do. I think there's an awful lot more to lose than there is to gain. I think the key is really that when you are thinking about your marketing, even if you are being aggravated beyond belief by people that are talking about things and saying why they're amazing, and you're thinking, no, they're not, your option shouldn't be to go and say they are rubbish because they are lying to you because bad. It should be why you are good, what you are bringing to the table. Are you more qualified? Do you have a better policy? Are your products made differently? Are they made to last? Do you have a warranty? Do you have a guarantee? Do you have testimonials? Think about the things that you can pull out that are valuable marketing tools so people understand why what you do is worth it, whether this is a product or a service. Don't base your entire strategy on telling everybody why the others are rubbish. It's just not good. Obviously, I've been watching these debates. I've been on the radio talking about them. I've been in lots of different places talking about them. And from the kind of PR, social media, I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, actually, is a whole different thing. But it's been really interesting and disappointing to see the strategy. And I always liken it to businesses. If you saw a CEO, a C-suite, a manager behaving like that, what would you think? And I can't think of a situation where that kind of behaviour would endear them to anybody or make anyone else want to side with them. There's a correct way of doing things, and that isn't it, particularly if you're looking to, have a business from it. So it's a really short one today, but we've got a corking interview next week, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you think, gosh, I would like to hear more of what she has to say, please do hop on over to Amazon and search Small and Supercharged, and my book is there called Small and Supercharged, Small Steps to Supercharge Your Brand on a Budget. Do have a look at that. It's got some lovely reviews. And also, if you have got a couple of minutes, and somebody did leave a lovely review last week that I need to share on social media, please do think of rating and reviewing the podcast wherever you listen. It all helps. I know when I'm looking on to decide which podcast I need to have accompany me when I'm trying to stop my dog from rolling in horse crap on a walk, I do look at the reviews, and lots of positive reviews encourage me to download it and give it a go. So hopefully that's been useful. Please do rate and review the podcast. It all helps. And I will see you, I'll definitely see you next week. Take care.